All right, well, we got to do a couple of housekeeping things here. Let me see. Got getting the seating chart here. And Will, you're in this last row over here. Put you back one. Okay, and where's Shay? You're right here, okay. And where's Peyton? You're right there, okay. So behind William. Peyton, what's your last name? Carter. And here we have Amelia Huntsman, okay. Let's say a little more kind of next to Aiden, but all right. But kind of in her own row at the same time. What's my missing here? Eric, Brendan, William, Lillian, Lydia. Aiden. Nick, Amelia. And then I'm missing somebody here. Let me see. Where's Katie? Right there. You're okay. That's Katie. There was a famous actress here in the 70s, Kate Jackson. Do you know? Sorry? Among other things, yeah. Yeah, but that's what she's famous for, probably. She's still alive, isn't she? Do you know? You ever follow what's going on with her? No? She's pretty popular for a while. All right, well, that's all we got then. Okay. Now, no one gave me the proper paperwork for this, but we're going to do it anyway. I'm going to go ahead and check out these books to you without any kind of record of the whole thing. Write it down on the board or something. I could do that. Pick on another sheet of paper or something.
Did you get a new webcam here, Reader?
No.
You see the box on there.
Oh, that's the same one.
Yeah.
It hasn't moved since I did my unboxing video. It's hard to do a video of unboxing a video camera.
Did you like pull the wire out the side first and use that camera?
You got to comment on everything. The packaging is really nice.
Does the same or
Does it? Yeah.
don't know.
I don't know either. You got the wrong guy.
What class is this here, Reader?
I'll make a comment about that in a minute. I promise. Okay, I want to call you up here real quick. And so, Will? You'll grab a green book and that smaller brown book. Tell me, give me 1 second here. What's the number of the green book? 15? Another one?
37?
37. All right. Thank you. Brendan? Let's do the same thing.
2 for the green book, 17 for the brown.
Perfect. And Lydia Bodie? Take one of each of those. Now yours is kind of blue. That green one and that one right there. And the green one. What's the green number?
23, and
Okay.
the blue one is 44.
23 and 44? Okay. Okay, and Peyton Carter. Will you grab one of each of those, the green and that bluish book there? What's the green number?
The green is 24.
Okay, and the other one?
The other one is 45.
45. Okay.
And am I grabbing one of these two?
No, that's a different class. We'll hold off on Manaya and then William. One second. Are you going to see him?
His house is on that.
Okay. Give me a minute so I do it in order, so I'll have him. Yes, but when I call his name, you come up there, and if you don't mind doing that. I don't mind risking the coronavirus. Amelia. Yeah. It's written like in 300 BC, actually. Which number is 33?
Green 38.
Okay.
Ooh, mine has ancient market.
30 and
42.
42 is the blue one. Okay, thank you. And Kate Jackson. Come up here. Yeah, you're gonna get, that's a different edition, but it's the same book, really identical. And tell me the red book there.
35.
35. And the blue one or the 16, right? Okay, perfect. And Aiden. We'll take a green one and a brown one now. And what's the green number?
29.
And the brown one?
25.
Okay, perfect. All right, so again, Patrick then.
14 for the green and 22 for the brown.
Okay, Patrick, I just checked you out a book to William. I know that may be a big mistake, but I think he deserves the 20th chance. Murphy McCormick. Will you take a green and a brown book there and tell me the green number?
18.
And the brown one?
32.
All right. And Lily. Same thing.
19 for the green book. 6.
Gotcha. Okay. And Robbie's not here. Anyone know what his status is? Sick, on vacation? Okay, that's interesting. Anyone know about Kara Rogers? Is she, what her?
She was here last semester.
Yeah. Yeah. Shay? Who knows? Shay. I sure hope so. That's the only reason I showed up today. Only because we got out of bed in the morning. 36, all right. Anyone know what Megan Walters, is she? I sent her a link, maybe she's there. I haven't checked it to see who logged in. Zach, come on up here. We have a green and brown.
Green's 13.
Uh-huh.
Brown's 21.
21, okay. And Nick. Same thing.
Yeah.
Green and brown.
4 and 15.
4-15. Sounds like OSU's record this year. But everyone got to go to a bowl game this year. Almost Baylor even got to almost go to a bowl game this year. No, they almost got to. They were like 2-7 or something. All right, so Manaya, Robbie, Cara, Megan, we're not here. Okay. You want? Okay, come on up here. Will you see her? Okay. So just tell me that green and brown number on the top there. Actually, yeah, it's a different edition. It's the same book, different edition. 33?
Yeah.
27. Okay. Perfect. All right, that gives us one less person to. I'm still going to be short books. I gotta still need 1, 2, 3 more books, everybody. Okay. All right. Okay. A few things. The book, the green book, or some of you have a reddish colored book, the bigger of the two books, the one we'll be using most of the time, is a pretty well-known textbook. And let me just say this, there's a very slim chance that you'll get through college without taking a philosophy class. It doesn't matter what you're majoring in, business, music, liberal arts, science, doesn't matter. You're probably going to take this class, or a similar class, a longer class, maybe more, definitely more in-depth class, because it'd be a semester at least, in college. And there's a really good chance that you'll use this textbook, or another textbook by the same author. He has a couple of good introductory texts. It's actually kind of hard to choose, but Donald Palmer, Dr. Donald Palmer, but he has a good sense of humor, and he actually, if you flip through the book real quick, you'll see there's lots of little illustrations, and he actually did the illustrations. He actually drew all these too. And they're not all funny, although they look like comics. Some of them, they're not really that funny, some of them. But you keep trying to make sense of it. You're like, I wonder what's so funny about that. Some of them are funny, though. That's the thing that throws you off. Anyway, so you may see this book or another one by him, freshman or sophomore year of college. Good thing, because we have the words college preparatory somewhere in our logo or seal or I don't know. All right? Out on Utica or Yorktown. Or on the letterhead, maybe. That's what it is. So be looking for that. The other book written by, I don't know, a pretty big hitter, a pretty big player in the philosophy game, Plato. I don't know. He's overrated. No, he's not. No. And writing about his dear friend Socrates there. As you can see, the title itself is a spoiler alert. So don't read the title if you don't know what happens. That's terrible, isn't it? Where's the marketing department on this, right? The trial and what? He dies?
Well, but now you want to know how he died.
Well, he puts a picture on. He's got poison in his hand. It's a cup of poison. Yeah. I don't know. All right, you got to read the book. All right, fine. If you want to read the book, read the book. I don't care. Find out what happens. Yeah. Actually, I do care, but you'll find out anyway. So those are our two texts, and yeah. So tomorrow, what are we doing tomorrow? Is tomorrow online? Okay. So I'll probably start an assignment. There'll be a reading assignment from that book, and I'll give it to you tomorrow. Just the first, I think we're the first 2 chapters, but it'll be about a 2-week thing. Like we'll have an assignment, and you'll have 2 weeks to read those first 2 chapters, and so it'd be plenty of time. I don't know how many pages it is, but it's not so bad. And but it is still philosophy, even though he makes it about as approachable and as, I'm going to say as simple as he can, but as understandable as someone can, with a little bit of humor thrown in. He is, it's still, a pretty weighty topic at times, and I hope to also unburden you from the unbearable heaviness of this topic. and make it enjoyable and hopefully a little bit interesting. But maybe the book will play along and maybe it won't. So what I'm saying is the book is still what it is, and there'll be a paragraph you'll go, I better read that paragraph over again, because you kind of get it, and then you need to read it again. So don't be afraid to take your time with it. And what I would also say is it's not the kind of book, probably any philosophy book's that way, but it's not the kind of book that you can read the 2 chapters the night before we have a quiz the next day, because it takes longer than that to read, well, you could read it, but it takes longer than that to read it and comprehend it. So just take your time with it. Start reading it a little bit. Read a couple pages every every day, and kind of take it a little bit at a time, and then be ready in a couple of weeks, because we'll have a quiz after I assign those reading assignments. Good. So, well, let's just jump into things. Let's just get into it. Don't get your notes out though. Just leave them away. Said no teacher ever, except for today. Okay. I'm going to assume that no one's ever taken a philosophy class before. Okay, and Father Stephen definitely incorporates. So does Mr. Malarkey, actually. I don't know in what course he's doing that. I guess it would probably be ethics or. Well, you're going to have to read it again. How do you like that? That's crazy. Yeah, that's right. I know he does that. Let's get that to focus. There we go. By the way, if you have a camera that won't focus, put your hand in front of the lens and pull it back. Then it'll kind of like recalibrates it. There you go. See that? Perfect picture of the chalkboard. Chalkboard. When I first started here, we had chalkboards. I go every day. My blazer would be like, I could just pat it like that. Look like a coke dealer. Yeah, if I got pulled over, it would have been a full search, Then like, yeah, let's put that in the vial and see what happens. I would have been on that show. What's it called? Live PD or something. Blazer and my little patch on me. School would love that, wouldn't they?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they would blur it out.
Yeah, after our training stuff. I don't know. I think that I know that Holland Hall used to offer a philosophy class. I don't know if they still do, but maybe they do. Someone told me that Cassidy School, Cassidy, that's another school, the same kind of, how do I say it, socioeconomic level of a Cashel Hall, Holland Hall. Yeah, stereotypical socioeconomic level, right? As Cassidy, I think they had but there's not a whole lot of high schools that offer classes. So there you go. Interestingly enough, though, philosophy is the first thing that was taught in a formal school setting. It was the only thing that was taught actually in a formal school setting for a long time. Before that, things were taught differently, kind of like with private tutors. We'll talk about that a little bit and how that worked in the Hellenistic world, and traveling teachers going around from house to house and teaching for a few months at a time. And they taught mathematics and philosophy and literature, and rhetoric also was one of the things they taught. One of the things they taught. But then when there was actually formal school where people actually gathered at a certain place and met the teacher like we do, philosophy was the first thing that was taught there. So it's funny that we don't really teach it that widely in the high school level, but we do, of course, on the college level. So I heard that TU's kind of not dissolving their philosophy department. They're still going to have philosophy, but not as a degree or something. Did you want to say that?
Yeah, they took out everything that well, not really, but they took out of them.
Yeah.
They gutted every program.
Yeah. Well, that's just great. So you can still take philosophy, but you can't go there and get a degree in it. Yeah, exactly. In fact, I'm not trying to one up you, Amelia, but the first chapter of the book, in your green book or maybe reddish book, is called "What Are We Doing in This Class?" There you go. That's a good start. I think every first chapter of every book should be written. That textbook, that should be the title. What are we doing here? Yeah? And the author has a few suggestions, but not any real answers. That's the great thing about philosophy. So, yeah, what are you going to do with your degree in philosophy? Well, I don't know. Philosophize, right? most people probably go to law school, I would imagine, after they get a degree. Teach philosophy, or they go on to get a graduate degree in something completely different, or maybe they pursue a PhD in this and go on. But again, like I said, you'll no doubt you'll take another class, at least one philosophy class, maybe even a requirement for some other one that's more specific to your major, which is geared towards topics that have to do with what you're learning or studying for. We'll see. But again, assuming no one's taken this class before or a class like it, exactly like it, does anyone want to try to tell me what do they think about when they think about philosophy? Like a word association thing. I say philosophy and you think thinker, right? The guy on the toilet, right? Right. Yes. Famous statue by Rodin, right? The thinker. In German, der Denker. Very similar to English, isn't it? It's crazy. I don't think Spanish will be more like. What else? I say philosophy, you think old.
Socrates.
Thinking, Socrates. Plato.
Donald
Palmer. Confucius. Oh, good. So an Eastern. Good. Say again, louder. Weird language. Okay. What else? Do we have any more modern ideas about it? Smart. Okay. Right now that comes to mind, doesn't it?
Does the center hold?
I have no idea.
Complicated.
Complicated? Do we have any images, like other than words? Good, but that image right there, all right? Yes? Just all of a sudden it's popping into your head.
A bunch of Greek men in a circle.
Yes, Greek men in a circle. Togas, thank you. Can I throw into that? Beards seem to be important too. Beards seem to be an important part of appearing to be wise, I guess. Okay, naked. Are they still naked? That's a philosophical question. Is a man still naked if he's wrapped in a sheet? Okay, towels. He is in a death chamber.
Showing off their muscles.
Yes. Isn't Socrates quite fit for a 70-year-old man? Isn't he? He looks pretty good, right?
Fitness. They were all jacked.
Yeah, I think walking up to the Acropolis every day must really get you in quite good shape. You've been doing the curls or something too, it looks like. Chest press? Curling knowledge. Yeah, he's only been in prison for about 30 days there, but a lot of guys in prison are pretty jacked though. I don't know if you've ever seen that. They're pretty tough though.
All people in prison have to do is read.
No cat. He didn't join a gang or anything. He was in solitary.
Seriously, how's a tank top? I don't know it.
Oh, they all have curly hair.
Curly hair. Well, maybe more of a Greek trait. So beards, togas, curly hair, and muscular. What else? What else comes to mind? Any other modern, any modern ideas come to mind? Maybe you don't, but.
Sometimes it's sitting at a desk, thinking.
Okay, all right.
Like almost every single person I've ever met or been around who has been a big person in philosophy has thought very highly of themselves for
Okay,
thinking about
conceit.
philosophy.
Like
Did you say conceit, arrogance? Okay. Yeah.
Really pretentiousness.
Okay. All right.
That's the nicest way possible.
I'm willing. I would write for conceit right away. I'm not holding back on it. Let it fly.
they're not here.
It is. Yeah. Where are those people? They're not here. They don't need this class, I guess.
That's true. If they actually took a philosophy class, they'd fail it.
They may actually realize they don't know as much as they thought they did. Or maybe they would. Yeah, I don't know. When I think about a more modern example, I was thinking maybe about some. I don't know. This is just about some like person. And unfortunately, ladies, all of your examples that had to do with, they were all males you were talking about, and you talked about
There's a reason.
Yeah, that's Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Yeah. Yeah, famed. Sitting there with the Mad Hatter and Nietzsche at the same table. That's gives you a little insight into the mind of the author, I think. But unfortunately, up until the 20th century, really, and even then, it's a bit sparse. Women have been excluded from. That's no surprise, right? Women have been excluded from, really having any voice within the philosophy. Well, yes, I'm just going to keep it specific here within the philosophical world. However, that's of course changed now. The only, sorry,
I think they're too smart.
they may be beyond it, right? It's like I already know all that. Maybe, but but there is, of course, the thing about being a philosopher is that it's you don't talk about many people as philosophers who are alive. It's like being a painter, like you don't know that many living painters, right? You know a lot more dead painters than living ones, right? And you can name names. Maybe you know someone who's a famous painter who's alive today. Say again? Well, no, you're that's true.
Proportionally, there are going to be
Yes.
more dead.
I got you. I followed you the first time. I'm just saying, like, you ask, name me, 5, living painters. Some people can do that, but you can certainly, and my point though is not that there's more dead people than alive, but is that in order to become a famous painter, death usually seems to be kind of the moment where your paintings begin to become more appreciated and appreciate in value
Because you're not
usually
making
too.
more. I guess.
What's that?
Because you're not making more.
Yeah, the stock is limited then, right? That's it is what it is. There was a thing that happened, and if you were in German class, I think I talked about it to some of you guys. There was a thing that happened about 7 or 8 years ago where there was a son, and this is in Germany, a son of the guy, I forget their names now, but this guy was an art collector, art historian, and he worked for Hitler. And so when they went in, they took over France, and they took over Poland, Czechoslovakia. They would go into museums, and he would say, "These are the paintings we want to keep. These are the ones we want to bring back to Germany." And but he also grabbed a lot of paintings for himself too. And they also took a lot of paintings by famous artists out of people's homes, out of Jewish people's homes, and they would take them out of their home, send them off to God knows where in the East. They may have a famous painting, and that he would get those paintings. His job was to, pass it on and see if there was anything worth keeping, but he would keep them himself. And then about 8 or 9 years ago, this guy's long since dead, this guy's son, he was doing some funny business with money moving around between Swiss accounts and German accounts and all that, and they started looking into him a little bit, and they knew his history too for his death. And he had like $3 or $4 billion worth of art in his apartment. And all of a sudden, the art market then, it didn't get flooded with art, but there were a lot of paintings by famous artists that we thought that was it. Once he died, there were more he did. There were private commissions that he did that hadn't been even cataloged yet by anybody. And so all of a sudden, these things, they didn't flood the market and affect the price at all. In fact, the price went up more, but there was more art, more to be seen from these people, and so that happened, and I think that's still being litigated, and all the art is on display in a museum in Switzerland for now, but I don't know where it's going to end up. But anyway, okay. But same thing with philosophers, though. You don't talk about many people as living philosophers, or address them or call them a philosopher as they're alive. But usually, we wait until they've passed and we've had a chance. It's like almost becoming a saint or something. We want to read all their writings and correspondence and whatever else and find out. Okay, so, but there are a couple of people maybe who we would address that way. I think most philosophy professors would probably, I don't think they would call themselves philosophers. I don't know. Maybe some do. We're back to the conceit and arrogance thing again.
Would you call yourself a philosopher?
No. I'm a philosophizer, maybe. Good. The next question I have for you then is, and I'll give you some answers in a minute that I have, but not from me, but other people. But what is this thing? What is this thing called philosophy? What is it? You signed up for the class? What is it?
Science of thinking about things.
Science of thinking? Sorry? Think about thinking.
Thinking about ideas.
Thinking about ideas. What else?
I think that's all of it.
That's it?
This is an intro class.
Yeah, no, I just want to know what
Don't
you,
really have any tangible impact.
say again, one more time.
Discussing things that don't really have any tangible impact.
Okay, all right. What else?
Perspective.
Perspectives, yeah, good.
Deeper meaning.
I'll say it louder.
Deeper meaning?
Deeper meaning, okay. Good. Hope so, maybe. What else? Good. Last question. Give me an idea. Throw out to me an example of a philosophical question. What's a question that would be asked?
Why?
Does the center hold? Why does the center hold? What else?
What is a man?
What is a man? I think we can define that. What else?
Is water
Why are
wet?
we here?
Why are we here? Say again?
Is water wet?
Okay. I'm gonna put it up here just for Is water wet? Okay. What else?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Meaning what?
Okay. What are we doing?
Why are we doing it?
Good.
How much wood? What a woodchuck.
Why are we doing this?
Someone actually really mad about that.
What
is the meaning of life?
Meaning of life. Meaning of life.
Why not?
Why not? What else?
What makes a person a person?
Okay. Can I say what makes something a person? You mind if I say that? No, that's not a good one. What makes, what'd you say it again? Say it again.
What makes a person a person?
Okay, I think that's a really good question. It's a very good, very contemporary question, really. What makes a person a person? The other day, I wanted to see on YouTube the highlights of a soccer game in Germany. My team that I follow. They suck, by the way. But anyway, they're still playing, you know.
Newcastle.
And I'm watching, and my son, Sam, right? Sam and Jacob walk in, and they start watching with me for a minute, and then I don't know which one, Jacob or Sam, says to me, this is a EA Sports game, right? This is not. And I just started looking a little bit closer, and it was, but man, it was good. I thought it was real. That's what I'm saying. I was like, I would have kept on watching this.
It's like cheering for the people in my yard.
Well, you know what? Before they walked in, I was a bit confused because I'd already kind of read like the final score. I knew, and it wasn't. The other team had scored a couple of goals, and they only scored one actually in the real game. So I was like, well, wait, maybe they got it wrong in the paper, or maybe wherever I read that online. And then, so I kept watching, but that didn't even click it. So it appeared to me there were people on the screen, playing the game. And I was probably watching it for 10 minutes before I looked a little closer and realized it really, all that, the blades of grass moving and.
I think ignorance is bliss, there's like a glitch, and like one of the people just like deformed or something.
One of them just randomly
This would have
flies
exploded or
in the
something.
air for
Yeah,
no reason.
he just flies holding the ball and then throws it into the goal. I'd have been like, whoa, why was that on my
About
map?
to pick the ball and then suddenly one of his legs is going through his head.
That's
EA, no,
a glitch. We had a great thing going, EA, until you glitched. So yeah, this question, that sometimes I've actually, called companies or whatever for our, cell phone, and it sounds like not a recording on the other end. It sounds like a person actually talking to me. They've really done a good job with that sometimes, I think. And I'll start explaining something, and they'll like, in the middle of what I'm explaining, they'll just like start talking again, and I'll be like, well, this is not a person. Maybe I'm easily fooled, I don't know. But maybe I have really high-tech companies I work with. Other questions? What's a philosophical question? Example?
Right.
What is right? Okay.
Why is it right?
One more time, I couldn't hear, sorry.
What is right and why is it right?
Okay.
Do we need to be right?
Uh-huh. Do we need to be right?
So like, why is right?
Okay.
Maybe like the term of justice morality.
Okay, good. Very good.
What is truth?
Very good. Yes, what is truth? In fact, we can have a whole list of these what is questions, right? What is right? What is truth? What is justice? What is knowledge? And even other aesthetic questions. What is beauty? Things like this. So, what is truth, right? So we can have a whole bunch of those.
What is truth, etc.
Yeah, truth, etc. Good. Okay. It'd probably be easier to answer the question, what's maybe a non-philosophical question, right? Yeah? It'd be very objective type questions then, right? Like, will we have tortellini today? Well, there's a yes and no to that, right? It's one way or the other. Do some people die from bee stings? Yeah. Some people do. Yeah. What animal in the world kills the most people? Anyone know? Mosquito. That's right, the mosquito. By far. By far, yes.
Is malaria?
Mainly malaria, yes, but they also spread encephalitis and other. Anything that punctures your skin and all that is bad stuff.
Things that can trade bloodborne illnesses.
Yes, and inject them into you. So,
I'm not saying that we should have just screwed the birds and kept DDT, but that is exactly what I'm saying. And it would have cured malaria.
well, of course, malaria is fairly rare in the United States, but in the modern industrialized world, but in the rest of the world, though, malaria is still a real problem, and it still kills millions of people, thanks to the mosquito. But that's an objective question, right? I mean, there is an animal that kills the most people. That's different than asking, who's the greatest rock and roll guitar player of all time? No, actually, that's fairly objective, really. That's Hendrix, right? I mean, Hendrix.
But if you say greatest, how are you measuring greatest?
Yeah.
The most skilled,
There you
or
go.
the most aesthetically pleasing?
Right.
Well known,
Still, Hendrix is the answer.
richest.
It's only 27.
Yeah, in fact, the ones that are dead are all 27.
They all the drugs.
Yes, airplanes seem to kill a lot of rock and rollers too.
That's true.
But I think there might be drugs involved in the airplane issue.
There are a weird amount of musicians who are killed in airplanes.
And rock and roll music, that seems to be almost as high as the drug overdose thing. But of course, they're on planes all the time. I guess you fly the odds, and eventually, especially if you're dealing with maybe pilots and mechanics who don't.
Like, wasn't there that one musician who released an album and then immediately died in a plane crash because his album reached #1 before he moved to there?
Yes, who was that? I know who you're talking about,
I can't remember his name.
and it wasn't all that long ago.
No.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of how often you're on a plane. I think, because they're on a plane maybe on a tour, maybe nightly they're on a plane or daily. And so still the odds are incredibly low of you being killed in a plane crash. But it's like going to a casino, if you had enough money to keep going, eventually you might hit a jackpot, That'd be the positive end of things. Good. Okay. So yeah, the non-philosophical probably are much easier. These are just subjective questions. You right away say like, what room's been assigned to Mr. Weaver and all. And you can, there you go.
What is a room?
Yes, but that's what's a room? What makes something a room? What is roomness? Roomness, as Plato would call it. What makes a room a room? What is that underlying thing that makes something be called a room? Not roominess, but roomness. What is that? Why do we call certain things rooms?
If there wasn't like a door.
Okay, there you go.
There's no way to get into it.
And there's walls that close it off in some way. If I have just cubicle walls where I can look over the top of them, is it still a room? Some people might call it that, maybe, but it's not really a room. A cubicle in an office, I wouldn't call that a room, right? But I call it a cubicle. That's something different. It's cubicleness. Although Plato never used that word.
Is cereal in milk a stew?
Well,
It's not a thickening agent.
is vichyssoise a soup because it's cold? Well, there are cold soups. Maybe there's cold stews also.
Is gravy soup?
Yes, that I will stand.
Maybe it could definitely be an ingredient for soup. What is soupiness?
What is salad? A bunch of different things in salad. There's fruit salad.
Yeah.
There's bean salad. There's
You guys are
potato
just
salad. Potato
Cobb
That's
salad,
all-
Caesar salad,
I don't know what-
Waldorf Astoria.
I say fruit salad and potato salad are not salad. Salad has to have lettuce. At least one lettuce.
The big one in Europe is cucumber salad, or cucumber salad.
Disgusting.
Those are sliced up cucumbers with other stuff, with other veggies with it.
Have at
Or
least
3
one
slices
singular
of bread
lettuce.
next to one another. Or a sandwich or a loaf.
Then they often have one singular lettuce.
Are there 2 butts on the end? Are there 2
That's a good question.
end slices, right? Okay. So these are all good examples. These are all good. Thank you these are all good examples of philosophical. I will say this, and some of these are different. Some of these are different than what I'm about to say. But a lot of these questions that come out of this discussion, or any kind of philosophical discussion, a lot of it, thank you, Deacon.
How's it
Can we
going?
squeeze it in for the bell rings?
Let's do it.
The 3 wise men, Caspar, Melchior, and Balthazar, followed the star of the Son of God, who became man 2021 years ago. May Christ bless this classroom and remain with us through the new year. May He direct our work and our study, that they be always in the pursuit of truth. And may Christ Jesus dwell with us, keep us from all harm, and make us one in mind and heart, now and forever.
Amen.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year. Welcome back. That's cool. I would see this on doors in Europe all the time. These people, they keep them up all year long with the chalk over the doorway. All right, we'll pick up there tomorrow.
Are we taking this class every day?
You don't need to bring them every day. I'll tell you when you need to bring the other book, the smaller book. That'll be a little bit later in the quarter.
Do we need the green one every day?
No, I'll give an assignment, but make sure you, hey guys, make sure you take the green or if you have the reddish one home with you, okay? Tonight. See ya. Thank you guys. I'm gonna sign off here. All right. See you tomorrow. I'm talking to people online. Sorry. Tomorrow, I'll be emailing you something. It'll be an assignment, and you can take a look at that from there. Okay. See you later. Bye bye, guys. Good to see you.